1. Account balance: a summary of an account specifying the difference between debits and credits to an account. 2. Achievement factor: the percentage of the rack rate that a hotel receives. In hotels not using revenue management software, this factor is generally approximated by dividing the actual average room by the potential average rate. 3. ADR: average daily rate, used to measure the average revenue that a hotel receives for each occupied guest room per day. Investopedia. 4. Audit trail: an organized flow of source documents detailing each step in the processing of transactions. 5. Bad debt: a collection of amounts owed to the hotel but are not significant enough to bill out to the guest. For example, telephone bills. 6. Booking lead time: a measurement of how far in advance bookings are made. 7. Break-even analysis: an analysis of the relationship among costs, revenue, and sales volume, allowing one to determine the revenue required to cover all costs. Also called cost-volume profit analysis. 8. Bucket check: when the front office staff checks the contents of the bucket against the room rack or the housekeeper's report on occupied rooms to ensure correct occupancy figures. 9. Charge voucher: a voucher used to support purchase transactions that take place in the hotel, other than at the front desk. 10. City ledger: the collection of all non-guest accounts, including house accounts and direct bill guest accounts. 11. Close to arrival: a strategy that allows reservations to be taken for a certain date as long as the guest arrives before that date. For example, a hotel may accept a reservation for a very busy Wednesday night if the guest's actual stay begins on Tuesday night. 12. Cost per occupied room: the variable or added cost of selling a product that is incurred only if the room is sold. Also called marginal cost. 13. Direct bill: a credit arrangement where the hotel agrees to forward charges to the company for payment. 14. Discount grid: the turning away of transient guests for lack of rooms due to the acceptance of group business. Also called non-group displacement. 15. Due back: a situation that occurs when a cashier pays out more than they receive. 16. Dynamic packaging: the customization of a travel package according to a specific guest's needs. Hotels find dynamic packaging especially effective during the expected periods of low occupancy. 17. End of day: an arbitrary stopping point for the business day, established so the audit can be considered complete. 18. Equivalent occupancy: given a contemplated or actual change in the average room rate, equivalent occupancy is the occupancy percentage required to produce the same net revenue as was produced by the old price and occupancy percentage. 19. Fair market share: a comparison of a hotel's ADR, average daily rate, or RevPAR, revenue per available room, against its competition to determine whether it is getting its share of business in the market. 20. Finance term: for matters regarding the management, creation, and study of money and investments. Investopedia. 21. Folio: in hoteling it refers to a guest account or the hotel's billing system. 22. Fixed costs: costs that remain constant in the short run even though sales volume varies. 23. Floor limit: a limit assigned indicating the maximum amount in credit card charges the hotel is permitted to accept without additional authorization. 24. Forecast: a projection of estimated business volume. 25. GAPAR: gross operating profit per available room, key performance indicator that helps properties to determine their performance by calculating the gross operating profit in comparison to the number of hotel rooms available, MEWS. 26. Group attrition: underconsumption of, or failure to achieve, a committed number of group room nights. 27. Group booking pace: a rate at which group business is being booked. 28. Guest ledger: the set of accounts for all guests currently registered at the hotel. They are maintained in the tub of manual operation. 29. Hurdle rate: the lowest acceptable room rate for a given date. 30. Marginal cost: the variable or added cost of selling a product that is incurred only if the room is sold. Also called cost per occupied room. 31. Maximum advance booking days. No booking can be made before the date of the maximum advance booking days on the rate header or restrictions in reference to the arrival date of the stay. 32. Maximum stay through. No booking can be made for more than the maximum number of nights defined if the restricted date falls within any part of the stay. 33. Minimum advance booking days. No booking can be made after the date of the minimum advance booking days on the rate header or restrictions in reference to the arrival date of the stay. 34. Minimum length of stay. A revenue management availability strategy requiring that a reservation must be for at least a specified number of nights to be accepted. 35. Minimum stay through. No booking can be made for less than the minimum number of nights defined if the restricted date falls within any part of the stay. 36. Night audit. A comparison of guest and non-guest accounts with revenue center transaction information. Tracks all revenue and determines the hotel's financial position. 37. NOB. Net outstanding balance. Amount outstanding on the statement date including the unbilled installments plus outstanding amounts on purchases, cash withdrawals, balance transfers, and loan on phone transactions on the credit card. Law Insider. 38. Non-group displacement. The turning away of transient guests for lack of rooms due to the acceptance of group business. Also called a discount grid. 39. Open only for day use. Only bookings with 0 nights, that is, day use, will be offered this rate code. 40. Overage. Shortage and imbalance that occurs when the total of cash and checks in the cash register does not agree with the cash register readings. 41. Pay in advance. A guest who prepays their room charge in cash during the registration process. They are usually denied in-house credit. 42. Pickup error. An error in manual or semi-manual systems that occurs when the user enters an incorrect previous balance in the process of posting. 43. Posting. The process of recording transactions on guest and non-guest folios. 44. Potential average rate. A collective statistic that effectively combines the potential average single and double rates, multiple occupancy percentages, and rate spread to produce the average rate that would be achieved if all rooms were sold at their full rack rates. 45. Profit. The net value achieved by a seller and a buyer in a business transaction. 46. Rack rate. Official price of the hotel room. 47. Rate. Potential percentage. The percentage of the rack rate that a hotel receives, computed by dividing the actual average room rate by the potential average rate. Also called the achievement factor. 48. Rate spread. The mathematical difference between the hotel's potential average single rate and the potential average double rate. 49. Rebate account. Allowance. A decrease in a folio balance as compensation for unsatisfactory service or correction of a posting error after the close of business. 50. Revenue. Money generated from normal business operations, calculated as the average sales price times the number of units sold. Investopedia. 51. Revenue management. A technique based on supply and demand used to maximize revenues by lowering prices to increase sales during periods of low demand and raising prices during periods of high demand to increase revenue. 52. RevPAG. Revenue per available guest. A revenue measurement that focuses on revenue earned per available guest. 53. RevPAR. Revenue per available room. A revenue measurement that focuses on revenue per available room. 54. Sell-through. A revenue management availability strategy that works like a minimum length of stay requirement, except that the length of the required stay can begin before the date the strategy is applied. 55. Stay-sensitive. Hurdle rate. In the context of revenue management, a hurdle rate, or minimum acceptable room rate, varies with the length of the guest reservation. 56. Transposition error. An error that occurs when numbers in a figure are reversed. Is divisible by 9. 57. Trial balance. The process of ensuring that front office accounts balance with the transaction information. 58. Wash factor. The deletion of unnecessary group rooms from a group block. 59. Weighted average contribution margin ratio. In a multiple products situation, An average contribution margin for all operating departments is weighted to reflect the relative contribution of each department to the establishment's ability to pay fixed costs and generate profits. 60. Yield statistic: the ratio of actual room revenue to potential room revenue. 61. Zero out the settlement of a guest account, bringing the NOB to zero.